now, your main event. Introducing the hosts of Wrestling with Freddie, Jeff Dye, and Freddie Prinze Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a brand new episode of Wrestling with Friends, and this is the news of the week. A respectful shout out to the premier streaming network showcase and its new world champion Matt Cardona, who wore a Freddie Prinze Jr. t-shirt on his path to glory and victory. Also, congratulations go out to Impact Wrestling, who have reached a milestone of 1,000 episodes. In AEW, Bryan Danielson spoke on Collision and alluded to this being his final year in the ring. More on this topic on Unsanctioned Thursdays. Stay tuned, because we have much more to get to today on Wrestling with Freddie, Wrestling with Friends. Well, welcome to the show, everybody. With me is Jeff Dye, looking like Logan from Wolverine and fresh off the boat from Alaska. How are you, sir?
I'm feeling good. Alaska was fun. Yes, people can't see us. They can only hear us. But if you could see us, you'd notice that I've shaved my mustache, but I've left the beard. The rest of it's still there. That's because that's in honor of you getting aggregated for talking about CM Punk. All these wrestling fans. Well, not all the wrestling fans, but some wrestling fans giving you a hard time about your comments about Punk, which I didn't think were that controversial.
Are they giving me a hard time, man? What are they upset
They're just saying like, oh, you're kicking him while he's down. And, you know, but here's the thing.
While he's down, he just got millions of dollars and doesn't have to work.
Exactly. Also, if you get fired and we comment on it, that's not us kicking you while you're down. You got fired. We're going to comment on it. That's how these things work. That's how the wrestling podcasts work, because you comment on the things that happen in wrestling. It's insane.
Well, I didn't know I upset so many people. So to those I upset, you'll be okay. Everything's fine. And I'm glad y'all are listening. And if you're not listening, I hope you do.
Yeah, that's true. Be more like Matt Cardona. Wear a Freddie t-shirt and be a fan of me and Freddie.
I think everybody should do that, by the way. I think we should record our podcast in Freddie Prinze t-shirts like Matt Cardona. I think everyone on everyone in the Judgment Day should for sure be wearing Freddie Prinze Jr. t-shirts like Matt Cardona. I think the Bloodline probably will be on SmackDown. They'll be wearing Freddie Prinze Jr. t-shirts just like Matt Cardona. And then on AEW, I'd be surprised if the Acclaim didn't come out in Freddie Prinze, and disappointed if they didn't come out in Freddie Prinze Jr. t-shirts just like Matt Cardona.
This weekend, when I'm in Dallas, I'm going to be wearing a Freddie Prinze Jr. shirt on stage. That's a fact, Jack.
Just like Matt Cardona.
It's a fact.
I'm going to actually get a shirt covered in Matt Cardona faces and only record the podcast in that from now on. That tickled me to death. So, dude, this is way out of order, okay? I don't mean like, you're out of order. I don't mean like that. I just mean structurally out of order. Can we talk Bryan Danielson first, please?
Absolutely.
Okay, so we're going, man, we should save it for Thursday, for Unsanctioned Thursday.
Save it.
Damn it. All right, we'll save it. I love Unsanctioned Thursdays because I could spend an hour talking about the awesomeness of Bryan Danielson. All right, never mind. We're going to go in order, everybody. A lot of people just got excited and were like, wait, damn it, son of a, whatever.
Thursdays.
Okay, so yeah, wait for Unsanctioned. It's just one more day. So Monday Night Raw. And this match broke my heart because his damn kids were in the crowd. Oh, my God. It just ripped me apart. The Intercontinental, as he calls himself, heavyweight champion, Gunther, versus Chad Gable. This was the main event. And this match was everything I hoped it would be. It was everything it was supposed to be. Both guys looked phenomenal. And those sons of bitches cut to his kids when he lost, and his little girl just like, explain. At least they cut away fairly quickly, but they let you see her vomit emotion and the tears come out, and she started crying, and they're like, all right, we've tortured her enough, cut away. But oh my God, man, imagine this footage that they're going to replay the first time Chad Gable wins a world championship. Oh, yeah. Because you know they're going to go back to this footage and it's going to have the music and slow motion and the tears flowing down and Chad Gable almost winning. And then he finally is going to like get a championship. Anyway, I loved this match. This is my match of the week. I shouldn't start the show like that. But I almost started it with Unsanctioned Thursday. What did you think?
Well, a lot of family there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's a lot of family there. I didn't watch it live, and I saw like all the tweets of people like just screenshotting the family watching the match, and I was like, that's so dramatic. I mean, surely they should know that this is predetermined by this point. It's some of the even his wife's crying. You know, like it was kind of unusual.
Bro, they were so emotionally invested.
I mean, it was wild, very exciting. Although this is the first time I ever remember them like advertising that like this beats Honky Tonk's standing record. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, have you ever heard them do that before it happens?
Well, they usually don't even refer to his streak that often. I know Santino did when he was going to have his consecutive days, and it only got to like 13 days.
Yeah.
And he lost. It was still funny. But I remember it was a fight for them. I didn't have anything to do with that. I really loved that storyline. They had to fight for that storyline because Vince didn't even like hearing about that streak. So I don't know if that's why, but yeah, I haven't heard anything like that. But I don't even know if that's something I would remember.
But that's why it was weird to bring it up. It feels like so old. It almost felt like they were spiteful towards the Honky Tonk Man. Like
okay, then maybe
the
it is.
standing record's gone. I was like, this is a strange way to even end the standing record. Also because it was a loss, so it's kind of weird.
Yeah, man, I remember them saying that. I wish I could remember what the Honky Tonk Man beef was. I'm sure it's just because he sued him for something.
Oh, did he? Or I mean, if that, or so, that's your guess.
I'm guessing, dude. I'm guessing, dude. I just know there was beef, and not like the meaty man meat beef, like bad beef, like a problem that you have with someone. This is weird because I honestly didn't think they were going to split Jay and Jimmy up.
Yeah.
And now to see them on different shows, and they're giving each of them a hell of a shot. One as the ultimate babyface, walking out through the people.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And the other is the ultimate heel who is betrayed, and they're on different shows. I don't know if it's going to work. They got huge balls for trying it, and I really respect them for trying it, and I hope it works out. But we'll find out, because if they become brothers in arms again sooner rather than later, then you know it didn't work, and they realize their energy together is better than separate. But, and it hasn't been perfect with either guy yet, I hope it works, and I think it's got a shot because Jay just has that certain energy that people gravitate to. He's like a sun, and everyone's orbiting around him. And Jimmy is the more refined as far as the performance goes, and he's doing a good job as a heel on SmackDown. But I'm really, really liking what I've seen. So even though a storyline, thanks to Cody Rhodes for bringing Jay over, because I think that's going to help both of these guys. And that was something that I wouldn't have had the guts, I don't think, to do, to split them up. I'd keep them together forever. Anyway,
what do you think, though? Do you think that
the
bloodline storyline is tired, or is this a sign that it's not? Like, what do you think?
It's just, isn't it just another chapter in the bloodline? Like, not every chapter is going to be the focal point, and that's okay because there's a lot of other storylines that are coming to fruition. I love the opportunity that they're given to the Almighty Group with Montez Ford, Angelo Dawkins, and Bobby Lashley. I like what they're doing with Judgment Day. We've got all the gold. Like, I think we're seeing a lot of cool rivalry. AEW's made trios kind of cool again.
Right.
And so I feel like WWE's seeing that and taking a bit from their competitor, which is good. These guys should be inspiring one another, which is cool and good for wrestling. But I don't know if it's a tired storyline in the bloodline. It's just a chapter in the storyline. Right now, it's falling apart, and the bloodline is basically two dudes, and only one of them represents because Roman is on a different work schedule as the champion. So yeah, man, I'm not hating on it because they're giving Jimmy a chance to be this sort of outcast that everybody hates, like everybody in wrestling hates, and they're giving Jay the opportunity to be the champion or the wrestler that everybody loves. And that's still directly connected to bloodline. So to me, that's all bloodline story. What about you? You think it's doo-doo?
Well, a great way to put it, but my hope is that maybe the future chapters will be a little less repetitive. That's all. But I hope that, and I hope and agree.
That's fair criticism, though. Would you like to talk some AEW Dynamite, or was there anything else on Raw you wanted to touch on?
Nope, let's do it at AEW. I'm like the biggest AEW fanboy in the world now. So
AEW's the Squozen one has lost the International Championship. Of course he lost. He lost to John freaking Moxley, the Werewolf, the Death Jitsu Master. And man, he's been doing some cool shit in the ring with jiu-jitsu, by the way, with the chokeouts and stuff like that, man, and making jiu-jitsu cool and a part. It's not just a sleeper hold. It's actually like a rear naked choke. And he doesn't, lock the legs in so that it's not real. He's not trying to hurt him, but he's just badass. And it was sad to see Orange Cassidy have to lose, but he came out and gave us a quick promo, which was a nice little appetizer for the MJF Samoa
the
Joe
Orange
promo.
Cassidy promo to open the show. That's how over he is, that anyone would accept that as an opening show promo. Dude, it was super short. What do you, they told me to stay home, but I didn't. And then he goes, oh, I'm freshly squeezed and I don't have a catchphrase. I was like, this is dog shit. It made, because I love Orange Cassidy. But to open a show.
But that's his whole thing, Jeff. Even look at his entrance. Like the billboard in the background says something cool here.
I know.
Think of something, whatever. And then instead of a pyro, it's just one little poof. It's just one
Freddie,
little
it's like these Target
Everything
shirts.
is meh.
He's about as funny as like a Target shirt that like you'd wear in like 9th grade, where it's like a camouflage shirt.
I think your reaction is funnier than the segment. But that was what Orange does, man. I didn't like it either for a long time.
If nobody's perfect, I'm nobody. Or like a camouflage shirt that says like, you can't see me. It's like, listen, dude, I'm down with the fake.
Perfect.
I'm done with I like the stupid kicks. I like the pockets. I'm on board with most of it. But everything is some sort of like pithy, corny joke. I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah. I like Orange Cassidy.
Everything
I want to talk trash.
Even when it doesn't
Don't
work.
aggregate me wrestling podcasts. I'm just saying like that. I
have another podcast and it's called Talking Wrestling, and I'm aggregating.
I'd be so jealous if you cheated on us with another wrestling podcast.
It's wrestling. That's how I get away with it. All right. MJF and Samoa Joe and the master storyteller, Maxwell Jacob Friedman, who I've spoken so glowingly about, as well as everybody else who watches professional wrestling. This dude has been able to bring an element of reality into almost each and every one of the stories that he's done. And when he's done this, and the opportunity's been there for a real moment to exist, he has knocked it out of the park each and every time, from the CM Punk stuff to the William Regal stuff and now to the Samoa Joe stuff. And I talked about it briefly, Jeff, the story where he basically got an opportunity, and he tells it better than I will. So everybody should go watch this. You can see it on YouTube. It's a beautiful piece of storytelling, whether you like wrestling or not. But he talks about an opportunity he had at NXT where he got to play security. And Samoa Joe treated him like he was a kid. Joe keeps calling him kid. He's like, don't call me kid. He's trying to keep his cool. Don't call me kid. And he gets pushed into this brick wall and treated like some punk kid because Joe could get away with it. Well, he's not a kid anymore. I'm not a kid anymore. I mean, he goes up and down with this promo. It's so beautiful. And he basically lets him know, like, your time is up. You're never putting your hands on me again, punk ass bitch. And Samoa Joe flips it on him and says, I didn't do that to you because I thought you were a kid. I just want that to be clear. I did it because I thought you were a bitch. Yeah. And you see Max sell so hard. And then swap, 5 fingers to the face. And Joe just kind of takes it and laughs and is like, all right, man, you go ahead and get out of here. I'm going to win this tournament. And then I'm going to wrestle you for that title. And I'm treat you like a punk ass bitch, basically. And he holds the rope open for Max, and Max doesn't bite, and then he walks away, and Max goes to get out, and Joe kicks the rope right up into Max's nutsack, just boom, and Max goes down and sells, and Joe's sitting there like, you stupid asshole, of course you fell for that. And while he turns to the crowd to kind of gloat, Max crawls over and bow, here's one to your ball sack, just like Jean-Claude Van Damme in Bloodsport when he gets the sumo guy right in the balls. And now Joe's hurt, and they go back and forth, and Max is selling a stiff neck from having to wrestle so much, even though it's like 3 times in the last month and a half. For him, that's a ton. And they go back and forth and fight, and this is just going to be awesomeness. I cannot wait for this match to happen. They put real stuff in there, and Joe can hang with him. Joe can hang with anybody on the mic. But Joe can hang with him on the microphone. He's never going to be as eloquent and as colorful as Max, but his like basic shit talk skills are at a very high level, like a very, very high level. He's just not a storyteller shit talker like Max is. I know you love this because this was like 7 minutes of gold.
Yeah, I love this, and I love MJF, as everyone knows. And I've always been a hater of Samoa Joe.
Yeah, you are
I
a
don't
hater.
like him. But here's the thing. It worked really well back and forth. I loved the whole segment or whatever. But I don't understand how Samoa Joe's getting this opportunity. I don't think that he's worthy of it, in my opinion.
He is, dude. You just don't. You're not seeing it. Like, he's the man. The crowd freaking goes crazy for him. They love him. Even with Max in there, they still scream, Joe, Joe, Joe. Joe is gonna kill you.
No, they were saying MJ is
dude.
gonna kill you because he said because MJF was like, I'm gonna kill you, and they started using Joe's chant against him. They started chanting Tiny Dick.
WWE says tiny balls. AEW gets right to the point.
It, yeah.
Like, nobody cares if your balls are small. They care if your dick is small.
Yeah, that's what we're measuring. Nobody's measuring balls.
See, why don't they aggregate that? That's killer.
I'm sure backstage Samoa Joe and MJF are shaking hands and thick as thieves. But it's just like I'm gonna watch this match where I really don't like Samoa Joe, and I super love MJ. It was also cool to see them really work the neck injury angle on MJF and the way Adam Cole came out and helped him.
Speaking of Adam Cole, it leads us to his other best friend with a bad neck, Roderick Strong. Look, I don't always love what they do with this. But I'll give him this. He's way committed to the bit, to the point where by the time it got to him versus Darby on Collision, I was like, I'm all in on this bit. I can't wait to see 2 guys that hate MJF wrestle each other to see which one gets to wrestle MJF. Samoa Joe and Roderick Strong. And I'm pretty sure Samoa Joe is the reason Roderick Strong is selling his neck in the first place. So the way they structured this tournament to get these 2 guys at the end is very well done. And shout out, because I don't think A, tournaments work very often, and B, I don't think AEW's gotten the tournament thing right. The tag team tournament only worked because Max and Adam were the show, but the matches were irrelevant. Everybody knew what was going to happen because FTR is not losing those belts. But they've done a really good job with this tournament. And I can't wait to see Roderick Strong and Samoa Joe kick some ass.
Yeah, I liked everything about this, and I agree with you, except I didn't like the transition of Adam Cole and MJF with 2 of the doctors or giant security doctors, or they look like the strongest trainers in the world. Awesome. But they were like getting MJF and Adam Cole out of there while Roderick's coming down, and it was like the weirdest transition of being like, he's not okay. And he's like, well, he's not okay. That's your real friend. But I think it was probably on paper a lot better than the way that the transition happened. It kind of looked a little clunky. But
yeah, a little old school.
Yeah.
Little old school. Moving on to Friday Night SmackDown. Fight night, baby. Too much to talk, and we've already talked some Jimmy Uso. LA Knight, my friend. He's got beef with Austin Theory, and he's got beef with Grayson Waller now. And Grayson was on commentary, and Austin Theory was wrestling LA Knight, and LA Knight got a clean, here you go, in-your-face victory, keeping him strong. The story that they told, for those who don't watch wrestling, but y'all just like to listen because you're awesome. Grayson Waller does like a talk show bit. We've talked about like The Miz doing this talk show bit. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but Grayson Waller can wrestle and he has charisma. He has a chance to be a big star. I don't think they found the right vein for him yet, but that dude has something for sure. Austin Theory is due for some losses. He's been taken very well care of over the last few months, if not over a year now. And Grayson basically tried to interfere by untying the turnbuckle. And WWE does these kind of things really well when they shoot them. Sometimes they cut away from impact moves too quickly, which is weird. But when there's shenanigans, they cover it really well. Just look at any old Eddie Guerrero stuff. So he takes the turnbuckle off the corner to expose the iron ring. And now that's going to be the focal point and the story for the rest of this match. And Austin Theory sees it from like the edge of the ring while the ref's back is turned. All this goes down. And he's like, all right, I'm going to slam him into this. It's his inner monologue. And so he brings LA Knight into the ring and he goes to throw LA Knight in there. And LA Knight sees it and he sells huge and he reverses action. Oh no, boy, he gets slammed. Boom. But then he gets up. What? Get some of this power slam. Boom, ski. He goes to throw. Well, that's what it sounds like. He goes to throw Austin Theory into it. Austin gets out of there because he sees the exposed ring and he walks right into some blunt force trauma, which is the name of LA Knight's finisher. And it was so smooth and clean, just boom, face right in the mat. 1, 2, 3, yeah. I want to say one thing with the crowd. And I know everyone's going to disagree. And once you disagree loudly enough, I'll say, okay, fine. I'll back off. When he does his LA Knight elbow, when the guy's laying in the middle of the ring, you know what I'm talking about, Jeff? And he goes, LA Knight. And then he runs off the ropes and comes and he hits his elbow. The crowd should wait on the until he hits the elbow. It shouldn't be LA Knight, yeah. And then he hits the elbow. It should be LA Knight. Oh, yeah. Oh and then he nails the big elbow. Wouldn't that be better?
I didn't even think of that, but that is infinitely better. I think,
come on.
The big payoff. Yeah, right on the slam. That's perfect. What'd you think about him doing the Kevin Nash thing?
Dude, I missed it. What did I miss?
Well, in one of his promos, he said, if I was a moron, I would use the word, I would say, look at the adjective. But I'm not a moron. So I know it's a verb because I didn't come to play, which was just a straight.
Yo, he did that because Nash has talked trash on him on his podcast. That's for sure why he did that. Oh,
for sure. For a little bit of context, back in the day in WCW when we had the Monday Night Wars where it was like WCW has Monday Night Nitro and WWE or WWF at the time had Monday Night Raw, and you couldn't decide which you wanted to watch. You're like, what do I? You were changing channels back and forth. Like, oh, this is so exciting because there was so much good wrestling at the time. Kevin Nash came to WCW. He had like little word problems every once and again. He has a track record of like just kind of saying the wrong word. He kind of had mic flubs every once in a while, and one of his biggest ones was he's like, "We didn't come here to play." Just look at the adjective, play. I'm not here. And it's like, so he botched the sentence.
That's all right.
Oh, it happens.
Man.
Yeah. But
people are on him for that. Come on, man.
He actually pretended he didn't even know LA Knight's name on his podcast. He was going, go to that one night guy. What is this bozo?
I like Kevin.
Me too. I love Kevin.
He was really good to me on that A&E show, man. I just thought he was the coolest guy and he was super professional.
I think he's one of the coolest dudes in all of wrestling.
He's just not feeling LA Knight.
But a lot of these young guys don't. Punk doesn't like him, and there's just always been some like hiccups with Nash and these young guys.
Oh no, man! There's always beef.
But for LA Knight to just answer back with a little thing like that was, I love Kevin Nash, but he was spitting some fire, and I had to look it up. I was like, I don't even know what everyone's talking about. Like, how was this a slam on Nash?
Yeah.
But well played by LA Knight, and also an interesting little back and forth. Maybe this gets Nash back in there.
I don't care how old Kevin is. If he was ever like, yo, I want to do a match in the ring, you have to say yes, man. He only did like 4 things anyway when he was in there. Like, he could still
choke slam. He could still powerbomb. He could still big boot. Like that. That's
do the big boot. Yeah.
But what I will say though is
and smash you up in the turnbuckle. Oh, with that big side elbow. I think I kind of look like Kevin Nash. Don't you think I
the grays coming in? Yeah, you look like Super Shredder.
Gray beard. Yeah, like if he had like a skinny little bitch brother.
No, don't say that. Everyone.
Freddie Nash, dude.
Everyone compared to
Come
Kevin
on.
Nash is a skinny, small bitch. The dude's 6'10". I don't even know how old he is, and he still looks like he could kill anyone.
Dude, he's still super
Yeah, he's
buff,
huge.
man. He's so jacked. All right, man. You were just in Fairbanks, Alaska, if my memory
Yes,
serves
sir.
me correctly, cracking jokes up north. Your Instagram was making me laugh very, very
you.
much. Where are you gonna be this weekend?
This weekend, I will be in Texas, in Dallas area, technically Addison, but it's Dallas, at a place called TK's Comedy Club. So check out that. Look up TK's in Texas comedy, and you can see me Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
And you guys, we have some fun shows coming up for the next couple of weeks. A little change of pace. We're going to do some deep dives on some old stuff. We're going to have an interview with our friend Austin Romero. You know him as Mike Rome, the voice of SmackDown. And we're going to talk about some wrestlers who became actors as well. Don't forget about Unsanctioned Thursdays tomorrow. Yeah. This has been a production of iHeart's My Cultura Podcast Network. For more podcasts from iHeartRadio, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows.